when you delegate something to your team, the ideal is that you delegate it and you forget about it. It's completely out of your head. Everything moves forward. And that's that. However, the reality tends to be that you delegate it and then it's still in your head. You're checking back in to make sure everything's on track. You're checking back in to see if the team member needs help. You're worried as it gets closer to the deadline. Is it going to be done the way you want it? Is it going to be done at all? And you're doing your work and you're checking in consistently to make sure your team is doing theirs, which is just adding more stress to you. And in reality, you might as well just do it yourself. And your team is feeling micromanaged. So you're stressed and starting to feel overwhelmed and overburdened and frustrated. And they're also feeling frustrated. And whether or not you need to check in or you need to make sure that they need support or that they're doing their job correctly, that doesn't matter. What matters is you're taking on more work and they're feeling frustrated. When the solution is super simple, because it's just a process. In the Delegate Like a Pro system, we teach the prep, table, and rewind process. And part of that table process is being able to make sure that you don't have to continually hover or check in or ask how things are going and still know that everything is progressing fine and still have a way to make sure that your team can come to you with questions when they need help without you answering questions all day long, all the time. So choose one or more of the following options to make sure that projects move forward. They look the way you want them to look when they get to the end, and you're not hovering. First, when you assign the task or project, just create a check-in schedule at the same time. Both you and your team member put the dates in your calendar, and then you're just checking in. How are things going? Where do you need support? Where are you at right now? Whatever questions you need at that time. You both now are ready to assess where the project is, make course corrections if needed, and you each have a peace of mind that everything's going the way that it needs to go. The second way is project management system. Whether that looks like an industry-specific solution, your solution, like an Excel spreadsheet, or just a generic something like Asana, which is what we use, you can check at a glance where each part of the project sits. And your team can ask questions and you can answer them when you have a moment. Finally, you can implement an end of the day or an end of the week type of routine where your team checks in to say how things are going, where they may need support. A lot of my clients love using the 4 W's: wins, working on, worries, and waiting for. Any of those or all 3 of those help keep you in the loop without taking up your brain space and micromanaging and hovering, because your team needs space to do their best work. You need the assurance that everything's going to go according to plan. And both of those things can happen when you have a good, solid process in place. We'll teach this and more in our Delegate Like a Pro masterclass held at the end of January. Click on the link below to register.